California is one of the most powerful economies in the world. It's a state known for innovation, massive cities, and fertile farmland that feeds millions of people. But behind this success lies a serious challenge: water. Nearly 40 million people live in California, and most of them are concentrated in large metropolitan areas, especially in Southern California. Cities like Los Angeles and San Diego have grown into enormous urban centers filled with homes, businesses, and industries. But there is one major problem. Most of California's population lives in the south, while most of its natural water supply exists hundreds of miles away in the north. The story of California's water begins high in the Sierra Nevada mountains. During the winter months, powerful storms cover these mountains in deep snow. This snowpack acts like a natural reservoir, storing water during the colder months. When spring arrives, the snow slowly melts and flows downhill into streams and rivers. These rivers eventually make their way into the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta, one of the most important water hubs in the entire state. But Southern California has a very different climate. The region is naturally dry and receives far less rainfall than many other major cities. Compared with places like New York, Los Angeles gets only a fraction of the annual rainfall. So how did millions of people come to live in such a dry region? The answer lies in engineering. Over the past century, California has built one of the largest water infrastructure systems in the world. Massive aqueducts, canals, dams, and pipelines transport water across hundreds of miles. These projects allow water from northern rivers and mountain reservoirs to reach cities and farms in the south. Large dams store water during wet years and release it when the state needs it most. Pumping stations push water across valleys and even over mountain ranges. Together, these systems form one of the most complex water delivery networks ever built. But cities are only part of the story. California is also one of the most productive agricultural regions in the world. The Central Valley produces a huge portion of the country's fruits, vegetables, and nuts. In fact, California grows the majority of the world's almonds. But many of these crops require large amounts of water. As a result, agriculture uses the majority of California's developed water supply. When rivers and reservoirs cannot provide enough water, farmers often rely on groundwater. Beneath the surface, underground aquifers store large amounts of water that can be pumped through wells. For decades, groundwater has helped farms survive during dry years. But pumping too much water from underground can create new problems. In some parts of California, the land has slowly begun to sink as groundwater levels drop. This process, known as land subsidence, can damage roads, pipelines, and irrigation systems. At the same time, climate change is adding even more pressure. Hotter temperatures increase evaporation and stress water supplies. Warmer winters often bring less snow to the Sierra Nevada mountains, reducing one of California's most important natural sources of water. As a result, reservoirs could drop to dangerously low levels during long droughts. Entire lakes sometimes shrink dramatically, revealing dry shorelines where water once existed. To address these challenges, California has started developing new solutions. Cities are encouraging residents to conserve water through more efficient household use. Farmers are adopting technologies like drip irrigation, which delivers water directly to plant roots and reduces waste. Some communities are investing in advanced recycling systems that clean and reuse wastewater. Others are exploring desalination, a process that removes salt from ocean water to create fresh water. And it will continue to shape its future. Despite these efforts, the demand for water continues to grow. Population growth, expanding suburbs, and increasing agricultural production all place additional pressure on limited water resources. Balancing the needs of cities, farms, and the environment has become one of the most complex challenges facing the state. Lawmakers debate policies, scientists study new technologies, and environmental groups work to protect rivers and ecosystems. Occasionally, powerful storms bring much-needed rainfall and temporarily refill reservoirs. But the long-term future of California's water supply remains uncertain. For farmers, reliable water means protecting crops and livelihoods. For cities, it means supporting millions of residents and businesses. And for the environment, it means preserving rivers, wetlands, and ecosystems that depend on healthy water systems. Water has always shaped California's history, because in California, every drop matters. And finding the right balance between people, agriculture, and nature may ultimately determine the future of the state.